Today we're going to be talking about the cheapest way to ship a package in 3 easy steps. I've been shipping for a few years now, and I've shipped like thousands of products through eBay, Amazon, and a few other platforms. And I remember when I first started, it was difficult to really get the concept of shipping because it just feels like the Wild Wild West. There's no real, I don't know, there's no guide or anything to help you out. But after doing all this shipping, I've been able to condense all that information down to just a few easy steps for you guys to help you out. If you do want to, just do the one-off shipping, you're just going to ship the one item, or if you're going to be, having a business in which you have to do a lot of shipping. So let's get into it. The very first step, cheapest way to ship a package, step number 1, media mail. Now, what media mail is, it's a specific only to USPS, and that's really what we're going to be doing. Sorry, let me step back for a second. I forgot to mention that part. So all these shipping methods we're going to be talking about is all through USPS. They're the cheapest one to be able to ship pretty much anything, unless you have some type of weird corporate deal with like FedEx or something. So we're only going to be talking about USPS, and this is more of a beginner's guide to really get you in there. This is going to get you pretty much 90% of your shipping needs. All right, this is like 90% of everything I've ever shipped will be condensed to this. So it's not a guide for every single possibility. So if you do have any questions, you can leave me, comment. I'll be trying to help you with that. So anyway, again, step number 1, media mail. What media mail is, it's the special program they have where it's only media items, and they define media as, here I got it written down here. We got media as books, CDs, film, any type of like paper with writing on it really is what media is. And so the reason why that's important is that you don't want to ship other things in it. Like you don't want to ship shoes, you don't want to ship speakers, you don't want to ship laptops and things like that through media mail, because what happens is when you accept media mail, let's say when you purchase it, you accept that USPS can inspect your package. So let's say you do ship a pair of shoes or a dress or whatever it is, and they open it up and they see that it's not, well, they're going to hold it. That package is not going to get to your customer or to the person you're trying to send your item to, and that's not good, especially in the business world. So make sure you don't chance it. Don't do it. So the price range. So I got a $14 max, and I'll talk about that just in a minute. But anyway, if I wanted to ship a 3-pound book, let's say to the other side of the United States, right? I'm in San Diego. Let's say if I want to ship it to Florida, a 3-pound book is going to cost me about $4 to get there, which if you haven't done a lot of shipping, $4 is insanely cheap, especially for something for 3 pounds. When I usually ship things, it's roughly about, $4 to $5. It's a lot less. It's like not even a pound. So media mail is very, very cheap. You're going to want to ship other things that aren't media, but don't do it. Oh, one thing, video games. People think that since you can ship an audio CD, they think, I can ship a video game that's in a CD. Doesn't count. I've checked. Trust me. I've had arguments with people about this. All right, a few little details. So the max amount of weight is going to be 70 pounds. You can't ship anything over than that. It's going to take about 2 to 8 days. It's one of the slower shipping methods, but it'll get there. It's not the biggest deal. And it does include tracking. All these shipping methods I'm talking about do include tracking, which is great. You definitely need that. Whenever I purchase anything, I want to make sure I have tracking, and I want to see where it's at and how quick it's going to get to me. And there's no insurance on this one. It's just the cheapest way to get something to somebody. If you need insurance, I'm not sure if they offer where you can purchase more for media mail. And then you got to use your own packaging. That'll come up in a minute when I'll be talking about the other shipping methods. And it's basically just the cheapest way to go. Now, let's say, all right, you're going to be asking me like, Abel, okay, the item that I have doesn't qualify. All right, that's cool, because we're going to go on to the cheapest way to ship a package. Step number 2, first class mail. Now, first class mail sounds fancy, right? It sounds like it's first class. So you're going to be when I think of first class, I always think of like a flight. I always walk through the front, and I always look at the front and go, this is beautiful here. I wish I could just lay down and lounge on here. But anyway, so it's just the name that they give it, the mail. Quick story. I remember talking to or somebody left me feedback on, I think it was on eBay, and they said, "Oh, this, the packaging was great. They shipped it right away and it got to me fast. They even used first class mail." it's just pretty much the cheapest way for me to get a package that's not medium mail. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about that one. Now, first class mail, the maximum you're going to be able to. The maximum is $6 to ship it anywhere in the United States, including Hawaii and Alaska. Now, the reason why the maximum is important is that when you do try and, let's say you want to figure out if something, let's say, you're going to be make this your profession, selling things online. And if you want to list something, well, that, let's say if an item is 16 ounces, right? 16 ounces or less, you can ship it first class mail, right? 16 ounces is a pound. So if you want to, let's say you want to ship something that's a pound anywhere in the United States, the maximum is going to be $6, which is very important information, especially if most of my stuff is about, in that range. And that's really where I ship like 70% of my goods. First class mail, it's less than a pound, which I know when I want to list it somewhere, I know that whatever it is I want for the price of the item, that I know it's going to cost less than $6. So it's very important. That number is very important, especially when you want to, if you don't want to, let's say you have 100 items you want to list, you don't want to put the weight into USPS and check it for every single one of those. You can just kind of get an average. You know how much more or less it's going to be. So that's why I got it on here. Again, maybe not again. It's the first time I'm mentioning this, but I'm going to write all this stuff in the article. I got an article on my website. The link will be in the description. Sometimes it's easier just to look at it and read it rather than just have someone talk to you about it. All right, so now let's say you want let's talk about the price range. Now let's say you have an 8-ounce item. Let's say it's a toy, right? Or let's say I have it. It's a toy, and I want to ship that 8-ounce item to, again, let's just say the furthest part of the United States, Florida. It's going to cost, an 8-ounce item is going to cost me $3.64. Remember how I said earlier the book was like, what did I say, 5? Let me double check here. I said 4, right? A 3-pound book will cost me $4. That's medium mail. Now this first class mail, an 8-ounce item is going to cost me $3.64. So it's a big jump. But anyway, so that's that. And again, the bottom of it, right? The bottom is gonna be like $3. So if you have something, let's say it's an ounce or 2 ounce, I think it's 4 ounces. It's gonna cost you about $3. And then the very top, 16 ounces, is gonna cost you $6. And the maximum again is 16 ounces, 1 pound. Delivery time for this is actually a lot faster than the medium mail. This one's actually 1 to 3 business days. It also includes tracking. Insurance is not included, but you can actually purchase insurance, which is interesting because I've had some items where it was actually pretty expensive, and I didn't, the things that are like $15, I don't mind shipping without insurance. 16. When it starts getting to around like 40 or 50, I start getting a little worried, even though I really don't lose a lot of packages. But I've had some items where they're actually $100, and what I do is I'll just purchase a little bit of insurance just in case. So you can do that. All right, so now you're asking, okay, Abel, I have a package. It's not medium mail, and it's actually over 16 ounces. What's the cheapest way to ship that package? And that's where we go to step number 3, priority mail flat rate. Now, flat rate works a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones are basically, they charge you on weight and also on, basically just charge you by weight is what it is. So if something is like 8 ounces, it's going to charge you a little less than something that's 12 ounces. But flat rate is just one rate, right? Flat rate is, if I want to, let's say I want to ship something to Florida, it'll cost me the same as if I'm shipping it to a person down the street. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, you can save. It sounds like you might be able to save or waste money using it. That's why I only use it when the other options aren't available. So what I'm trying to say is that it will work as long as you don't pay for it upright. You don't want to ship something that's 8 ounces in a flat rate because it's going to cost you more than it would from step 2, first class mail. Okay, so now we got flat rate, right? You just pay one price anywhere in the United States, even if it's next door. Now, what we're going to do is there's 3 different types of priority we want to talk about. There's many different types, but this is a more of a beginner's approach, a beginner's guide to show you how to get this. And this is pretty much the easiest way I can instill this. And when I first started, this is the easiest way for me to get all this done. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to just talk about 3 different type of flat rate. And the first flat rate we're going to talk about is this is a priority mail padded flat rate envelope. Can't get it in there with the microphone. And what's cool about this is that it has bubble wrap in it. It adds a little bit of cushion, and it's pretty big. I can fit all kinds of stuff in here. It's pretty big. So whenever I have an item that's not medium mail and that's over 16 ounces, I can put it in this bad boy. Right? I'll wrap the item in bubble wrap, and then I'll throw it in here, and it has just a little bit more bubble wrap. Now, what's cool about this one is that it is roughly about $7 to ship it anywhere in the United States, and you can fit, a good amount of things in here. This right here, this is out of all the shipping methods that I do, I usually do first class mail. Right? That's the one where it's 16 ounces or less. And I'll usually put that in these envelopes right here. Right, this is a small one, and then this is the bigger one. Can't get it in here. Right, 70% of my mail is going to go in these guys using first class. And then whenever I use priority, the majority will be in this one. Many other envelopes, but this is the one I'm talking about today. So it's about $7, which is great. So now you're saying, okay, what if my item does not fit in there? Or maybe my item is fragile and you don't want in this. Put it in here. Well, then we go the next step up, which is we're going to talk about priority mail medium flat rate. And that's going to cost you right around $14. And here it is. Let's see if I can get that. I'm getting the right side up. As you can see right here, we got medium. As you can see right here, we got medium flat rate on that one. And we have, it's hard to do this here, medium flat rate box. So you got 2 different flavors for medium flat rate. You got a squarish one and you got a longer one. And they're both the same price. They're both flat rate. They're both $14 anywhere in the United States, including Hawaii and Alaska. If your item doesn't fit in all the ones above that I talked about, then basically, we're just trying to sort where it is, where your item goes, how much it weighs, and how big it is. So here we go. Medium flat rate, kind of square box. Medium flat rate, longer box. This one is about $14. Those are 2 options. Okay, next. You're going to ask yourself, or you're asking me, hey, Abel, all right, my item is not medium mail. It is over 16 ounces, so it won't be first class. It won't fit in the envelope or in the medium flat rate. What's my next option? Your next option is priority mail large flat rate. So we talked about medium, now we're going to talk about large. And they are large. Large flat rate. This one's $19. So this is the $19 the max you'll pay to put an item in this box and send it anywhere in the United States. And just like the medium flat rate, this one also comes in a squarish and a long. Can't even get that in the frame. Look at that. That's how long it is. People call this the board game box. Got some board games here. You can fit a Monopoly in here. Maybe a Monopoly Deluxe. A Sorry. Or maybe Clue. You can fit that in here. That's pretty cool. Anyway, you can get most of these items, most of these boxes, the priority boxes, for free at your post office. But some of these items, like this one, I think you got to order online, but it's also free. You get the item for free and the shipping for free. Some post offices will have this one, but sometimes they don't. But you can, like I said, if you're going to be a professional shipper, then you're just probably going to want to go online and get a bunch of these. And if not, if it's just a one-time thing, you can just go in the post office and grab whichever one of these you can. But let's actually compare. Let's compare some of these. Let's do that. We got the top right here is a medium, and the bottom one's a large. Get that screen. Large flat rate. Check that out. And now we got the medium flat rate and we got the large flat rate. Can't even get them both in the screen here. I think they're about the same thickness. All right. Okay. So what we have done is we have gone over the 3 cheapest way to ship a package. I know I went through a few different packaging choices, but those are the 3. It's medium mail. And if your item's not medium mail, then you ship it first class. And if it's too heavy for first class, then you ship it priority. And then priority's got its 3 different flavors. Now, the reason I went over that and the reason I went over some of the numbers is you can use those numbers to really gauge what your item is going to be shipped in. And if you want to list it, you really got to have this stuff. You don't have to have it memorized. It's going to be in my article. So if you always just want to bookmark it, right, plug to myself, you want to bookmark it and keep looking at it, it's fine. But when I first started selling, it took me like a month or 2 to really get all this. I was writing stuff out, trying to figure things out. And it took me a good while to really get this system done. And like I said, it worked for like 90% of the stuff I sold. And I know whenever I talk to people about shipping or about selling, they're always worried about the shipping part and they don't know how to do it. And I've told people, hey, I'm going to write an article on it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a video. Would you guys like that? And they go, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. So I finally got around to doing it. So you can check that out. There's actually more information on the site to help you out with more info, a little bit more detail, like box sizes and things like that. But this is, but yeah, so that's the tutorial for that. I think I will be making a tutorial for maybe some international shipping. Really depends on if people are interested or not. But anyway, if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it, and I will be making more videos. So I'll catch you guys next time.